what was it like being there this morning, this afternoon, waiting word on what was going to happen?
I think the hardest part was just the uncertainty of it all. Knowing the seriousness of it, knowing that things were changing hour by hour, to not know if there was going to be a game or not be a game, if there were going to be fans, if there was not going to be a fans. It was unnerving is what it was. I know it brought a lot of anxiety to the players because they're not only thinking about themselves, but they're also thinking about their families.
And so so outside of that, I mean, what is your sense? You've probably talked to some of the players. Are they generally, from who you talk to, in support of this move? Are they upset by it? What is the general feeling among players you've talked to?
Yeah, I talked to probably half a dozen players, and they were all the exact same. We don't want to play. They want to play, but they don't want to play knowing that there could be something bad come out of, listen, we play a physical game, a nasty game. There's a lot of contact, at times flesh-to-flesh contact. And until we are 100% sure, the feeling from the players, until they're 100% sure that they don't want to go out there and they don't want to risk anything and they don't want to bring anything home to their family, knowing how close proximity you are when you're on the ice in an NHL game.
You've seen it all in hockey, or so you thought.
Yeah.
How do you process something like what we've seen and how it's evolved over the last few days?
I'll be honest with you. This is almost like a dream. I wish you would either punch me in the face or pinch me right now and wake me up, because it doesn't feel real. It's like this doesn't happen in the National Hockey League. This doesn't happen in 2020. I don't know how to comprehend it. I don't think any of us know how to absorb this. I think we all feel like, okay, let's just take a giant step backwards. We understand why they have shut the league down for now, but I think once this all calms down, listen, we're all going to get through this. Like we do everything else that's happened in the past. I think we'll all get through this collectively, and I think we just want, listen, if this was back in October and November, maybe we're not as hungry for hockey, but here we are coming around the final turn, right down the home stretch. I think everybody kind of has this taste of anticipation of what could happen come April. And so that's what makes it so disappointing, as you feel like, wow, this is a really good team we have here, and we could do something special in the spring.
From a hockey sense, have you heard, or do you get a sense of when play resumes, will they play everything out as normal, or will they condense playoffs, or the schedule? How do you think it will go, and how do you think it should go?
I think there's been a lot of scenarios, everything from wherever teams are right now, the percentage of points relative to the games played, that's where it's all going to fall. I don't think they can do that. I think they need to, when they come back, I think they need to get to even games. You have some teams have played 71 games, some teams have played 68 games. Whether it's a team play one more game, 3 more games, 4 more games, we play a total of 72 games, whatever it is, I think we need to have an even playing field. So when we decide 1 through 8, wild card 1 and 2, I think everybody has played the same amount of games. So I have a funny feeling it's going to be 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I think it's going to take that long for this to all to kind of settle down and us to find out, hopefully a cure. I don't know if they can find one that quick, but I think in the meantime, I think the players are going to get rested. I think they are going to do something to try to stay sharp because I think they're anticipating that sometime this year, sometime soon, the NHL will be back up and running.
Well, I was going to ask you from a player's perspective, no practices. Yeah. So how, being a player, on your experience, if you were going through this, how do you stay in game shape during an unexpected layoff like this and with no team events?
You can do some things off the ice, but it's really not going to help you to keep game shape. What I would do, if I was still playing, I would rent ice. I would grab a bunch of guys and say, hey, let's go get ice. Let's go purchase ice. We'll all throw in whatever X amount of dollars, and let's go rent ice, and let's get out there together. I don't know if the league maybe will poo-poo that, not allow you to do that. I'm not sure of the guidelines of what you can and cannot do, but there's nothing can replace being on the ice and having, whether it's physical contact or just moving your legs, shooting pucks, getting that kind of sweat to be game ready.
In a weird way, does this help the Penguins because they were in a slump? The later it goes, the more likely they get Jake Gensel back. Is this something that, when all the things resolved and they start running for the Stanley Cup, that could actually help them?
I'm a glass half full guy, so I think it could help you because, listen, and it could help every other team in the league too. It could help Philly, it could help Washington, it could help Boston. Everybody's banged up right now. So I think in the back, I don't know if players will admit this, but in the back of your mind, you have to be thinking, man, I can exhale a little bit. I can heal up some bangs and some bruises that I have, and if we get running again, I can be a lot closer to 100% than I am today. So I think there is that, but I just think once you've played 70 games, it's going to take a lot longer than 2 or 3 or 4 weeks to you get really rusty. Maybe the first period, maybe the first game, maybe the first couple games, but these athletes are so fine-tuned, it won't take them long to get back up and running.
Bottom line, did the NHL make the right call?
Bottom line, the NHL 100% made the right call. They had to. I mean, when you see that March Madness has been canceled and all these other leagues are canceling, everything from a legal liability side of it just to a principle side of it, an optics side of it, that the NHL had to do this. And I'm sure they waited as long as they possibly could to be advised by whether it's medical or legal to make sure we're doing the right thing for the players, for the brand, for the crest, all of it. They did the right thing, and I think as fans, we should just support it, and hopefully it comes back soon.